But in terms for Hex, pretty much, I mean, like Hex is getting cheap enough where it's very possible for someone to actually have like a million Hex, half a million Hex liquid stack, and then build themselves up 10 to like 100 T shares. And but one of the big things that I'm really looking forward to is that when we actually have the launch of pHex, that it's going to be possible for people to get to the 100 to 1,000 P shares. That is going to be very possible. Sorry. Um, that's kind of what I'm looking for on the Hex side. Like I believe in a 60-40 split for especially a lot of new guys coming into the space. I'd like people to have 60% liquid, 40% staked. And especially with that much liquid, you can actually afford to kind of make three, skip maybe 1 or 2 year stakes and go straight to year 3, and then kind of evenly stake out up to like 10 to 15 years. Obviously, if your time preference is a little smaller, maybe them just kind of increase them so that you're talking about like you're mostly concentrating that's 40% of your liquid Hex in a 7-year kind of batch instead of the full 12 plus year batch and stuff, because you're skipping year 1 and 2 and going straight to 3 years. That way you have more bang for your buck, and because you have so much liquid right now, you can take advantage of price pumps in the price of Hex over the next year or two. And that can put you in a really strong position where you're able to play the kind of game of like you're able to sell some at the tops there, buy back at the bottoms, so you have more Hex, and then you can stake the extra Hex out into stakes and stuff, and they just keep getting richer. You keep getting richer and richer and richer in T shares, which puts you in a much better position. For PulseX, Citadel, and stuff like that, I mean, just over time in the beginning, 10 million PulseX and Pulse tokens is really not going to be that much. But in the future, that's going to be quite a lot. It's going to be a lot more substantial. Basically, if you can have the ability to get to 50 million tokens, PulseX and Pulse Chain tokens and stuff, I would definitely try to shoot that as a goal. The round numbers are crazy, 100 million and stuff like that, but like that might be out of the reach for some people to kind of hit that level. But 10 million, everyone should be able to hit, especially with like there's going to be lows on these coins where you can be able to actually get millions and millions of PulseX and Pulse Chain at a pretty cheap rate in terms of dollars or Hex conversion. And that's kind of being able to hold that, because you don't in terms of PulseX and Pulse Chain, in terms of the holding structure, there's not much of a staking incentives other than just like LP farming. But you have to actually physically hold the tokens and just be mindful, and a lot of people are not used to having such a large liquid stack, so you have to be very careful. So it's just having the discipline of saying this kind of like these, like if this was a Trezor as an example, if this was a Trezor, like I got my 10 billion PulseX, 15 billion PulseX, 10 billion PulseX, put that away, and then that's going to be my whole stack. I kind of throw that away in the closet and then come back to that some other time. Basically, that's what you're going to want to do versus just having it all at your disposal there, because you may get incentivized during one pump to sell it all, and then it keeps pumping, and then it doesn't come back to your price level, and then now you become poor. You're going down the ladder basically.